My next guest, Bruce Dern, has been nominated for a Golden Globe Award as Best Supporting Actor for his role in The Great Gatsby, and there's considerable talk of a possible Academy Award nomination also. He'll soon be seen in the film Smile, which is his first solo starring role. Would you welcome, please, Mr. Bruce Dern?
Let me just set the record straight right now.
Right.
I was in school a little before this lady, and when I was in school, never did we have nothing like what you just saw out there.
Yeah. I don't remember that either, to tell you the truth. But you did actually attend, not at the same time, but the same school.
Yeah.
And what school was that again?
New Trier High School in Winnetka, Illinois.
In Winnetka, Illinois.
Oh, there's somebody.
Right.
That's very strange.
We got Santa Monica Track Club guys out there.
Were you been out running with them again?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. He's a runner. Did you know that, Ann Margret?
Yes.
He gets out and
Yes.
runs all the time, 2 or 3 miles?
More.
Really?
Yeah.
What, 5?
No, about 8 or 9 a day average.
8 and 9 miles a day?
All right. Animals! We're animals, John! Right, you got it.
Take the moose meatballs. And
What,
you
the
can
moose
do it.
meatballs? That'll keep you running. Look what it did for the moose. Did you run when you were in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, you started in track then.
Yeah. I didn't dig contact sports, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I was in high school, we had, New Trier is a township high school, so like 5 towns in an area,
Oh, I see.
Wilmette, Winnetka, Glencoe, Kenilworth, and a bunch of towns like that all send these kids to high school. It's a high school now, there's 2 of them. But when we were there, it had about 3,000 students. And so it's like a conglomerate, you know. But they were very good in football and wrestling and great swimming teams. They had good track teams and everything, but I was just, all the roles that I played when I first started acting were everything I was terrified of in high school. I mean, my first year, I went to Choate School for Boys, which is in Connecticut, my first 2 years in high school. And I came back to New Trier. Usually everybody does it in reverse. You know, you send a kid that can't adjust away after 2 years. You never send them away in the 9th and 10th grade, you know. You always say, no, you must go to prep school because you're bringing the wrong kids home.
Right.
You know, and I always brought the wrong kids home. My sister married a guy named Dick Siegel. That was the crusher. Anyway, well, you know, when they're Scotch and Irish and English, you know, Siegel isn't a big name there.
That's a bad move.
Especially when the one business is always anti the Siegel people. I mean, you know, the Christian merchants are always fighting the Jewish merchants in Chicago and have been for thousands of years.
Well, did they send you to military school because you didn't get along?
No, it wasn't military school. It was a boys' preparatory school.
Just prep school.
Yeah. No, it's a great prep school, but I just wasn't cut out for it. And they to straighten me up, yeah. They wanted me to go there and learn to be happy. The 500 other boys that were sent there to learn to be happy. Anyway,
well, you're pretty much of a loner. I would guess you took up running because it's an individual thing you do on your own without a lot of other people.
Yeah, that was a part of it. But my first day at New Trier, my junior year, there was a guy who was in the report. Police came into the, you know, the big lunchroom where you had your lunch during 5th and 6th period. Police came in there. Police with guns drawn. This is 1954 now. Now they do it all the time in these high schools here in L.A. They're on campus with guns, you know. But then it was new.
54 in high school?
It was new. And they were in there because there was a guy in the bathroom raping a girl.
Well,
Yeah, but wait, yeah. But listen to this. And the police went and saw the guy come out of the door into the room. And they said, hey, you've just been in there raping the girl. The guy says, no, not me, man. I wasn't in there. And the police let him go. And they saw him come right out of the room. That's how believable the criminal mentality was in Winnetka, pal. They really made the people believe he wasn't in there, and he was in there.
And they saw them in there?
Yeah, and then finally, later on, they realized. But the policeman said, no, I guess he says he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
Rather a liberal school. We didn't get away with that in Norfolk Junior High School. No. Anything like that. You know, when you worked with Gatsby, speaking of things you do, individual sports, you've taken up skiing, I hear.
No.
Not because you didn't want to.
No.
What? What do you mean?
No. When I was doing Gatsby, Redford and I became good friends.
Right.
And he said to me, I got very turned on to living in the mountains in Utah. And he says, fine, you can have a place here, so forth and so on, but you got to learn to ski. I said, no, skiing's out. I can see myself now in a plastic bag, you know, the first day. And total plastic bag, I mean, not just to here, you know, but
I'm
I
with
saw
you.
it.
That's one thing I do not do.
Oh,
I do
I
not
don't
ski.
not only do it, but he says, hey, man, I got him here, and that's they're going to give you a lesson. So naturally, Bruce Dern has a lesson. I got 200 people watching my lesson. Well, you've never seen a guy eat it so bad as I did in those 2 hours. I mean, I couldn't even snowplow. That's all you have to do first day, snowplow.
Right.
Just go down from the edge of the step to the floor. That's it.
Right.
2 hours, I'm on my butt every single time. I get up afterward, and the guy, you know, I see Red for about an hour later. He says, how'd it go? It's great, isn't it? I said, no. It was the grimmest 2 hours of my life. Absolutely hated it. Never again. No way. He says, well, oh, come on, man. First 2 or 3 times, it's that way for everybody. I said, but Redford, it wasn't fun. He says, what do you mean it wasn't fun? I says, it wasn't fun. I hated it. It was awful. And I could see not only that, but at Sundance, the ski slopes come down. There's a little river. They go across the river on bridges, and there's a parking lot. And the first thing I saw, the first day I drove in the parking lot, is a kid hot dogging down the hill, right across the bridge under a Volkswagen on a ski. Well, you know, all the BYU, Brigham Young is right near there,
Right.
in Provo, and all these kids come down, and they don't drink or smoke or anything, the Mormons, you know.
Right.
But this kid was on something, pal, because he came down right across the footbridge and right under a Volkswagen. Unbelievable.
So you quit the skiing?
Yeah, no skiing.
I'm with you. I don't know why. That terrifies me. And I've done almost every other kind of sport.
Yeah.
But skiing, because people always tell you, it is great, the great outdoors, and you never get hurt. And as soon as you go to a ski resort, it looks like Traction City.
Oh.
You know, people are in all kinds of strange appliances with arms, you know, that come out of
And not smiling.
strange parts of their body. Arms are coming out, you know.
And no smiles. They're not smiling. They're not happy.
No.
We did this movie this summer, Smile, which is about a California State Young American Miss Pageant. That's what we have to call it. And there were 8 actresses in the movie and like 25 just regular local girls.
Didn't you get a little flack from that from the last time you were talking about on the show? Or something you were talking about the...
Yeah, because, well, what happened was we shot in Santa Rosa, California.
Right.
Which is like normal city, USA. And these little girls that played parts had to be from little towns all over the state of California that they had never seen.
Right.
Well, this one little girl, her name was Lisa, I forget her last name. She had to be interviewed by me in the movie. You know, I'm one of the judges in the movie, and I interview the beauty contestants, and she says, she'd learned about Oroville. She's from Oroville. That's where the big dam is. So naturally, my character is a little lame also. He says, tell me, Lisa, how the people up in Oroville feel about the dam. Now, this woman's talent in the show was telling the story of the 3 little pigs to a little pig. And she brought this one in. Jerry Belson didn't write that one down.
Fancy.
She brought it in. That was her favorite. So she brings it in, and you can't laugh at these people because they don't think they're funny.
But that was the talent.
Right, that was her talent. So she comes in. I said, how do people feel about the big dam up in Oroville, Lisa? She says, oh, I guess they like it okay. And I says, well, why do you think they like it? She says, well, I guess because it holds the water in. And then she says, I said, well, get off that. Now, how about, would you like to, have you got any ambition or hobby that you're really interested in? She says, yes, I'd like to go to Africa. And she says, I said, Africa? Now, this woman was only about 4'8" and 17 years old and weighed like, she weighed 86. So she says, I'd like to go to Africa. And I said, oh, really? Well, how have you discovered Africa? I said, you going to go there with a trip with your family or in camp or something next year, you know, after school? She says, no, I'm just going to go by myself. And I said, really? Well, where have you read all about Africa and everything? She says, well, I've been reading in the Tarzan books, and I just want to go to Africa because I know that's what it's like.
That was your interview.
That was it. And we had a bunch of girls like that, 25.
You learned real quickly. Let's go to another subject. We have to take a short pause here. We're going to have a break. We'll be right back. You going to do a cheer from your high school? We have returned. Gee, that's a nice sound. The lights are low. And Margaret was saying she learned to ski when you were 4.
And my skis were this.
But where did you learn to dance like that in Winnetka? That was an unbelievable
I got the
number.
music in there.
Did they dance like that in Winnetka in high school?
I have always been, well, I saw a little film of me that was taken when I was 8 years old. It's on the special
Yeah.
that a friend of ours took. And I was shaking my seat even then. I
Were
was
you
8 years
really?
old.
Shaking your
I was
seat.
8 years old.
Yes, well,
Shaking her seat.
that's good.
It's big. There was a place in Winnetka called the Community House.
The community
Remember
house?
the Community
That's
House? I wonder if she ever shook her seat at the Community House.
Did you get out? Did you date in Winnetka?
Yeah.
You did?
But they never looked like this, man. I'm telling you, it looked like somebody took Hershey bars and just ground them all over the face of it. Just like the moon. I had 600 girls in my class look like Crater City, you know?
Oh, come on. No, it couldn't have been that bad.
It wasn't good.
There are always a couple that are stunners.
Yeah, but
in
they
high
were
school.
always
They're
like...
always older, aren't they?
Well,
Ones that
they're
are
either
pretty
older
in
or younger.
school, well, they're either going with the older guys.
Right.
If a girl is pretty in high school, you see, there was a mean trick that the Lord played on us at that certain age. Because when you're 14 or 15, a girl who's 14 or 15, sexually is about 3 light years ahead of you. That's true. They develop faster, and all of those girls, the 15 and 16-year-old girls, are always going with the guys of the first year in college or the seniors in high school.
Well, we're
That's
driving
true.
around 5 guys in the car on a Friday night looking for a girl just to say hi to.
Yeah, anything. Going to drive in. Hi, Harry. Just get girls.
Right, that's
It's terrible.
And then Monday at lunch hour, you know, everybody said,
How'd you
hey,
do?
man, you should have seen what we had in our car. You
Right.
can't believe it.
How'd you do? Yeah.
And
You
the
get to touch
bottom
her?
line,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hey, man, did I get it?
How'd
Did
you
you get
do?
any BT? Oh, yeah.
And all lies. All lies. They say, yeah, I've been with her. Oh, great, great. Nothing.
I had my dad's Cadillac, and naturally, because I had the Cadillac, I got the privilege of driving, because that was the only way the guys would go
Were
with me
girls
anyway.
car conscious in those
Right.
days? I mean, if you had wheels?
No. They all hung out at these Richard's Drive-In, all those drive-ins.
No man's land.
Yeah, right. All the really ace girls either worked there or hung out there.
The ace girls, right?
Oh, ace. Or they went to Niles, which was another high school that played night football.
Oh.
And that was big. That's when
Yeah.
you knew the girls were wild, when they went to a high school that played night football. That was the measuring stick.
Those
you
are
know?
the wild ones, huh?
Oh, God.
Yeah. How old were you when the first time you had a date?
First time I had a date
How
was in the 8th grade. I took a girl named Carol Langenbach to a dance.
Carol what?
Langenbach.
Carol Langenbach.
German. And took her to a dance, and after the dance, I took her home on her doorstep, and I kissed her on the mouth. And it was 3 years from that moment till I ever kissed another girl on the mouth, because she slapped me about 4 feet. In 8th grade. And I lived with the terrible onus that it must have been a bad kiss.
That's right. You'd never know. You're just maybe a lousy kid. She really gave you a shot.
I think
huh?
it was a bad kiss. I mean, I had braces and she didn't, and it was like, it hurt.
Sparks and everything fly.
I mean, you don't know that you can move your mouth around. You know, you see the pictures in, what is that course they give you, you know, in the 7th and 8th grade to teach about kissing and stuff like that.
Wait a minute.
And,
Hold it.
you know,
What course was this that they teach you in school about kissing?
animal husbandry.
Animal husbandry? You must have really had some great dates. What?
I don't know what it's called. Anyway,
I don't remember that. You're not
you
talking
kiss-
about biology.
Yeah, right. And you look like, you just do like the picture shows that you go like that. That's the way Smiling Jack kissed in the comics and
That's
all the
right.
guys
but
that you watch.
You never know about the real.
No, the big one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God, I was very lame, though. While I was making the big 55-mile trip to Kankakee rather than facing up to having to have one-on-one relationship with a girl.
You're gonna hear from that gal.
I was
She's still
stealing the 5 out of Dad's wallet and making the long trip to Kankakee rather than facing...
Saturday night in Kankakee. So whoopee.
My father never heard of Route 45. He says, how'd you get a ticket on Route 45?
Right out of town, huh? It all sounds so familiar. We've all been through that routine in one variation or another.
But here, you know, in California and New York, you know, like when you first become an actor, you go to New York and you say, hey, where's the place that I used to get the 5 for, you know? Right. Well, usually you're asking the cabbie that, you know, and he doesn't know.
Right.
But in the little, like in Nebraska and Illinois and that, everybody knows how to get to Kankakee.
Oh, sure. You just go outside of town, take a route, and go right to so-and-so. Used to all that. We'll take a break. Art Carney will join us in just 1 minute.